Very good, very good morning to all of you. I have been missing uploading, shooting my videos in my own YouTube channel because I have been really busy presenting papers in different colleges and universities. So, what I wish to do in this YouTube shoot after such a long time is to be able to talk about something that I haven't talked about till date, something that I have been meaning to shoot for a long time. Uh, it is masculinity studies. Now, why masculinity studies? Because every time I talk about masculinity studies, there is an assumption that it's about men, it's about men speaking for themselves. No. The first thing that I have to break all those men's hearts, it's not about men. Masculinity studies is basically about feminism. Masculinity studies is feminist. It is not a counter discourse to feminism or feminist movement. Now it owes its origin to R.W. Connell, an Australian professor who conducted a survey in kindergarten school in Australia, and how boys are being taught gender, how girls are being taught genders, and how gender is trained and conditioned and culturally taught. Now, this is something that I have been talking about in thousands of webinars that I present papers in, and in my previous YouTube videos that I had uploaded earlier. So, what I do not wish to talk about in this video is gender, and what I wish to talk about is sex. Now, every time I hear that gender is a cultural construct, it melts my heart. It pleases me beyond limit. But there's a problem. Every time someone says that gender is cultural, social construct, fine. But then that is also followed by a statement, but sex is biological, right? But that is immediately followed by a statement that sex is biological. Now, I must convey my thankfulness to transgender studies, which would help us understand why sex is not biological. Two things. One is sex is as much cultural and social construct as gender is, and there is another thing, that there is no difference between sex and gender. So why do I think that sex is not biological, but it is also, like gender, a social, cultural and political construct? Okay, when we go back to trans studies, then we would be able to understand this very simply with a proper example. And the example is this. There is a Latin American, South American couple, and the couple was expecting their first child, right? And when the couple was expecting the first child, then we need to know about the details about those couples, right? Husband within that couple became pregnant by the wife. So wife has impregnated the husband, right? And the wife is a person who claims herself to be a woman with penis, and husband is a person who claims himself to be man with ovary and vagina. Now, the wife has thus impregnated the husband, and the husband is now expecting their first baby. So, this is my humble question now. If the body of the wife has penis, and if the wife has impregnated the husband, then does the penis still remain male organ? Does the penis still remain a male organ? Does it? Does the vagina still remain a female organ? Does it? No. It doesn't. This is exactly where Jacques Derrida's deconstruction might help us theorizing this. Derrida, in his deconstruction, has talked about free-floating signifier. So penis becomes a free-floating signifier, much like the vagina. So what is penis? Penis is an organ which is not sexed male. It's not a male's genitalia. Just like vagina is not female genitalia. And therefore, penis and vagina both have become a free floating signifier. Obviously, I am taking the wonderful help of Derrida's post-structuralism when I am talking about free floating signifier here. So now the next question is, if penis is no longer a male sexual organ or male genitalia, then penis is just an organ, like hand, like mouth, like finger, like legs, like lips, like cheeks, everything. So penis is not male organ. Penis does not have sex. So if penis does not have sex, then how do we decide the sexual identity of a newborn baby, particularly when the nurse lifts a towel? When the nurse lifts a towel, the whole world declares whether it is a male or a female. So the identification of gender is based on the sexual genitalia between the legs. But the sexual genitalia between the legs has already become a free-floating signifier. So since it has become a free-floating signifier, and since neither penis nor vagina is sexed, male or female, so how can penis or vagina, how can the presence and absence of penis or vagina determine your sexual identity? That is exactly why I think sex is also culturally constructed like gender. In fact, there is no difference between sex and gender. This is exactly where masculinity studies would begin, and this is exactly where masculinity studies would be an extension of feminism as well as queer studies. Thank you. Thank you so much, and we'll meet again. And with this thought, I'm taking a leave from you, from my YouTube shoot. Thank you.